Not my problem.
Not my problem, nor my problem. That's my new saying. Not my problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I
Is it
guess,
rude?
No, just do it for the summer and then go back to normal.
That gives me a week left.
Just for the summer.
Okay.
While you were gone this weekend for the summer, something happened that we all know about. Chadwick Boseman passed, and it was I was alone. You were traveling. Mike was traveling. Everyone else was traveling.
Gone.
Everyone was gone.
You were all alone.
I was all alone. So I had time to really explore. And so when this came across the news and was showing up on everyone's Instagrams, I would explore Google and learn stuff and go after all the films he did and all the characters and the roles he played, and then just find videos of him sharing and speaking.
Aww.
And it was really, really interesting. And one of the most significant things that I came across was his Howard University 2018 commencement speech.
Right.
And we both looked at that together
Wonderful.
afterward. When someone passes, everyone always says that you should love the people more while they're alive. In this case, I wish I would have listened more while he was alive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because he had so much to say.
He was a remarkable man. Even at the commencement speech, he was so proper and well-spoken and full of heart and soul, and there's something so special about him.
The gentleman at Howard University that introduced him said, he possesses the qualities that we embody at Howard University. And even when the lights are off, there are no cameras, those qualities continue to shine brightly.
Which is essential.
For integrity it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it says so much the way he said it, sorry to interrupt.
No.
Right? When the cameras are off, he's even more integrous.
Even when the lights are off and there are no cameras, the qualities continue to shine brightly.
Oh.
And as we're looking at him and as I'm thinking about everything, recently John Lewis passed as well.
Yes.
And with John Lewis's passing, everyone was traveling. I was all alone, and I had time to really explore John Lewis. And I was really familiar with John Lewis already, but I became fully immersed. And it was such a significant moment in my life that I want to take all of those attributes and actually live it myself. Because John Lewis lived above integrity of anyone else in the room.
Absolutely.
And Chadwick Boseman basically did the same thing.
Yes, so talented.
Yeah, really remarkable. So when we start the commencement speech, you watched it also.
Yes.
The topic was the hilltop.
Oh my goodness, yes.
The struggle is real.
The struggle to get to the top every day.
And he opened talking about at Howard University, the hilltop was the university sits on a hilltop. And he says getting up the hill was difficult for him because he lived on Bryant Street. And when he said to that graduating class that he lived on Bryant Street, everyone broke into laughter because they knew what it meant. I didn't know, but Bryant Street is at the bottom of the hill. Closest to the university, you have McMillan Drive. Okay?
Yes.
They're getting there easier than you are if you live on Bryant Street.
Yes.
Okay?
Everybody's getting there easier than you are.
If you live on Bryant Street.
And
After McMillan Drive is College Street Northwest. Their struggle is a little bit real, but they're still getting there easier than you are. If you live on Bryant Street, your struggle is real. It's going to take you a little bit to get there, and you're going to have to give extra and go further. So that's where he started. He talked about the struggle up the hill is an intellectual and a spiritual incline. And that's true for that graduating class, and it's true for all of our lives. Throughout ancient times, institutions have been built on hills to convey that great struggle is required to achieve degrees of enlightenment. And he shared that with the crowd, and they all digested that. Each of you have had different difficulties with the hill. True for the graduating class, true for our lives.
Yes.
In their case, the number one struggle that they had was academic.
Yes.
Did you struggle academically yourself?
No, not
Did you get help?
academically. Well, I think there's 3 different struggles, right? He referred to the academia,
Yeah.
and then
Financial.
financial,
And then social.
and then social.
But we have to go back to academia because we didn't really explore that yet.
Oh, okay. So
You
academia,
didn't struggle,
no.
but did you have assistance?
In Dallas,
Did you write all your own papers?
I had this lady who would.
You don't have to tell.
I know.
Okay. Struggles with academia.
Busted me.
With academia. Not everyone in the audience is what he says. Not each of you are graduating magna cum laude. And not everyone in the audience that I'm speaking. Get it right. Tell me. You cheated on your papers. You can correct me here.
Magna cum laude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say it for me when I fail.
Continue.
Okay. Not everyone in this audience is on the dean's list, but everyone here is on top of the hill. He said some of your grades didn't give a real indication of what your greatness might be. So whatever your status, whatever level of achievement at any different point in time, it still doesn't fully define you.
Absolutely not.
still
I mean,
doesn't-
you could be terrible in school and an absolute genius artist or performer or athlete or,
Some great people drop out of school.
Absolutely. Some people never go.
Not everyone should take the risk.
It's a lot of pressure.
That's right. Okay, so going to the next point of the struggle is financial. One of the things that he shared was some of the people in the audience had stood in line after line after line, and they were hoping to get help, aid, assistance. They didn't get it the first time that they asked for it in many cases.
Right.
And it speaks to the speed and the distance of really staying with something until you get what you need
Exactly.
to support. And then some people...
And then the third is social.
The third is social. And he talked first, and I know what you're wanting to get to. He talked first about some of you never fit in, and you were not popular, and it bothered you. You suffered socially and psychologically, and as you are on top of the hill, and you did make it, because you suffered rejection, you carry the psychological baggage of rejection with you.
Right.
And then he talked about some of you never fit in, and then he talked about some of you fit in too much.
Well.
And that was a struggle also because you were distracted from the pursuit of your greatness. And
Because your time management is stressed out because
it's blown up.
oh my goodness, it's like
blown up.
everyone wants a piece of you.
You rephrase. Everyone wants a part of your time.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
Okay. And he talks about it, and he says school was like an oh yeah focus. It was an oh yeah priority and just an oh yeah interest. It was not first and it was not centered. And he says you were literally too cool for school, and as you have made it to the top of the hill, you now carry the empty bag of too much acceptance. Really interesting perspective on
And
that.
speaking of the hill, there was a comment that he made that I thought was brilliant.
Tell me.
Yeah, I will. He was obviously it was the graduation. He said, and speaking of social, that he's like last night. I'm sure all of you, had a little bit of fun, had a big party, and today you're sitting in this ceremony, and you're gonna swallow it up whole and move on to the next thing and not really embrace it.
Yeah.
And he had this quote that was beautiful that said, I want you
Tell
to
us.
look down over what you have conquered and appreciate what God has brought you through. And he said it's so like a real order, like it was such a command.
It was a directive.
It was a
Absolutely.
directive to
The crowd.
realize what you've conquered and appreciate the moment and not just fly through it, but have a real sense of self-worth and pride and an arrival at a finish line, at a certain finish line.
Yeah,
Because
and-
it is one very important finish line in the many you're going to
Yeah.
run towards in your life.
That topic as a message really spoke to me as well.
Yes.
And as you savor what he said was, when you are completing a long climb, you first experience dizziness, disorientation, shortness of breath due to the high altitude. We are not comfortable with the next level, but we need to go to the next level. Once you become accustomed to the climb, your mind opens up to the triumph.
Yes.
And that's what you're talking about. And as you are sitting on top of the hill, and as you have achieved those levels and the accomplishments,
Correct.
absorb the triumph. And then he says, and this is what you shared with us a minute ago, savor the taste of your triumphs today.
Today, yes.
And he talks about being in the moment.
Be present,
Be present.
And feel it, and give yourself that warm, cozy hug.
And then when you have a triumph tomorrow, savor that.
Savor every
tomorrow.
little accomplishment you ever make.
Don't just swallow up the moment whole without digesting what has actually happened to you. Getting to the top of the hill is a source of confidence, is really, really what he's saying. And I thought that was amazing.
And a major accomplishment.
For those that did it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look down on what you conquered. Appreciate what God, the universe, the helping hands have brought you. And go forth with gratitude. Go forward with gratitude is what he shared with that crowd. And when we're talking about go forward with gratitude in the graduating class, he's talking about their life, and it speaks to all of our lives. And as he's doing that, go forward with gratitude. I'm like looking at the word gratitude. Is that thankfulness? It's appreciation. It's recognition. It's acknowledgement. And as I'm looking at, is that to God? Is that gratitude to people? And it's both. In a business or corporate scenario, you will often hear the phrase, that person manages up really well, and that person manages down really well. Some of the really effective people are those that manage down. And they manage their teams, and they engage with their colleagues well. Other people manage up, and it's like trying to please the CEO, trying to please the president. Both parts are essential, and both parts of gratitude are necessary.
And that's in the workplace. And in your personal life, I think gratitude is the core of your happiness.
It is.
I mean, because imagine no matter what you're going through, there's always something to be grateful for. I mean,
that's
it's,
right.
So for me, I think it's happiness. I mean,
that's
if you're
right.
always grateful and in that place of gratitude, it's...
If we're managing up and we're showing gratitude, thanks, appreciation, and recognition to God, the people that have helped us, the universe in your
spirit
case,
guide, spirit angels,
helping hands, all of it, we manage up that way. When we manage down with gratitude, something happened to me this morning, and there was a woman on television that was talking about kindness.
Yes.
And we're going to have a session on her soon.
Oh, sure.
But she was really, really, really impressive, and she was focusing on kindness. And she was saying that kindness is not who you are, it's what you do. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching that, take a bike down to my apartment, go in. On my floor, there's someone older than me.
What?
Totally older than me.
Oh, stop.
It's true. So they're in the lobby. I say hello, and I can tell that they have been lonely through COVID.
Yeah.
I can tell that they have suffered through COVID.
Yes.
Like, we have been...
did you give her a little love?
It was a him.
Him?
I did. At first, and this is the interesting part, when gratitude includes acknowledgement and recognition, at first I said hello, and then I stepped away because I was uncomfortable to, like, how are you doing? Obviously, your life is hell.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah.
You know, you're nearing the end. You don't look good today, and I don't want to get into it and embarrass you. And I'm turning my mail in the key, and I'm like, Bruce, I said, we just heard about kindness, so let's acknowledge him and let's recognize him as a person. And so while I'm getting my mail, I turn back and I'm like, I said, are you doing okay and is everything good? He said, yeah. He said, I really appreciate you asking. And it turned into a moment of, she said something on the TV, it forced me
Resonated
to
with
act.
you.
It resonated with me,
And
forced
the
me to
moment
act.
presented itself,
And
you
then I was
acted.
nicer to him than I
Yes.
would have been without her.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Go forward with gratitude.
Go forward with gratitude and kindness.
That's it, okay?
Feels good?
Feels good. I'm
Great.
done.
I'm done. Oh, and God bless our dear friend.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
Yeah.